Hello to our viewers. Welcome back to our channel Key to Band 8. In today's session, we will be talking about the letters that are being asked in Task 1 for general people. So this video is for GT people. So if you like this video, do subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and keep sharing it with your friends. So let's get started. In general exam, in IELTS exam for general people, in the task 1, they ask you to write a letter. Now, there are three types of letters. The first comes formal one. What are formal ones? Formal ones are like you are writing a letter to a person who is at an authority, right? Now, you can be under that person, under that authority. Like if you are writing a letter to your own manager, it is a formal letter. But if you are writing a letter to a manager who is in the other company, or you are not yet working, or you have not yet started working for that company, it will still be a formal letter. Are you getting my point? Because the person you're writing to is sitting at an authority. Now, for such kind of letters, like if you are applying for a job, again that person is sitting at an authority and you're trying to convince him and you want that job, that is the reason you're writing to him. If you're complaining for a particular thing to a bank manager, such kind of letters are being asked. And for bank manager, again, that person is sitting at another authority and you are writing about a complaint, or you are thanking him, or for the services that are being provided to you, you are thanking him. Such kind of letters are again comes under formal ones. If you have any problem regarding airline, your luggage is missing and you want to get back your luggage, and you are writing to the manager in the airline companies, again that person is sitting at an authority and you are asking him, or you are seeking his help. Again, it will be considered as a formal letter. Now, what do we do for formal letters? How we start the formal letters? Usually what happens in the exam, they will help you with the thing, like there will be a question, there are 3 sub questions will be there. Down there they will write, because every time when I have given exam, there was written dear sir, comma, right? Either only dear was written with a ... and comma. This means you need to start it like this, right? Respected, the word will be given to you and you need to use that word, right? For formal ones, I'll be telling you the format, how to start, what paragraphs you need to make, and how to conclude, what will be the closing line. In the coming videos, I'll be telling you how to start, what should be the closing line, and this today I'll be giving you an overview about the format. So let's start. For formal ones, it will be like dear or respected. For formal ones, I must say that you should start your letter with respected, right? Because that person is sitting in an authority, right? Respected Mrs. or Mr. John, right? For instance, this is the line, this is the page, left margin of the notebook. From the margin itself, you need to start, right? Then in the first paragraph, that is the introduction, or we can say the first topmost paragraph, you need to write down that what is the reason behind you are writing this letter. All right? In the question itself, like the first paragraph, you are given a situation. You need to pick certain things from the situation itself and you need to write it down or paraphrase it in the first paragraph of the letter, like I am writing this letter in concern to dash 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 dash. You do not need to exceed like the 3 to 4 lines are enough for this, for the introductory part. Then comes like you are given the 3 sub questions are there, right? You need to pick those information about those sub questions and you need to pen it down for BP1 and BP2. Again, leave the line, leave one line, start BP1 from the left margin again, and for BP2 again from the left margin, right? And then the closing line. The closing line will be telling you many of their, it is an apology letter, right? If it is an apology letter, you must write it in a way that I am seeking your sincerest apologies, right? Just like this, if it is an apology letter. If you are asking him a favor, I'm really glad for your favor. Rather, you can say you are really happy about this favor and you think that he will never feel bad about this favor for you, that the favor he has given to you, he won't regret for it, right? In such a way, you should give a closing line. And then for if it is a formal letter, you should write Y capital, like I'm not writing it here, but I'm writing it here because of the space. Write yours, like Y capital, yours, F small, right? F should be small, faithfully, right? And then your full name. Mind, it is a formal letter. You need to write your full name, Gunveet Kaur. And just opposite to faithfully, yours faithfully, you write down date. Like if yours faithfully was written here, you need to, in the opposite direction, write the current date, or we can say the exam date, right? This is the proper format for a formal letter, right? Respected Mr. What is the name, whatever the name of the person is, if it is given to you, write, or either you can write sir or madam or any hypothetical name, you can just write it down. If that person is a CEO of the company, a manager of the company or whatever, right? Write it in this way. Then I am, just in 3-4 lines, finish whatever you will be talking about, like what is the reason behind you are writing this letter to that person. Give a brief introduction about why you are writing this letter, because that is where the examiner will be knowing that yes, you have understood the question and you will follow the things in your BP1 and BP2, and you will be, you know, that the examiner knows that this person has got to know what he has to write, right? Or he will be, the examiner got to know that you will be writing this in your coming paragraphs, right? Then BP1 again from the left margin, BP2 from the left margin, and then a closing line. Always leave a line between the paragraphs and then the closing line. Then yours faithfully or sincerely you can also write, right? Yours sincerely can be there. Your full name. For formal letters, you need to write your full name and then date, and the opposite of yours faithfully. The date. Now, what is the format of the date? You can write. Like today is, I guess, 11th of June. I'll be writing 11th June, comma, 2021 dot. This is the way you need to write. Or if you want to write it in a smaller way, but I prefer my students to write it in this format with the comma. If it is third, write RD on the top and 2021 and then a full stop. Right? Now next comes the semi-formal letters. Now what are semi-formal letters? Semi-formal letters means that person is not at an authority, or you are not under his authority. Right? Formals one were like the person is sitting at an authority and you may or may not be under his authority and you are writing something to him. But for semi-formal ones, the person is not sitting at an authority. Right? He is not sitting at an authority and you may know him and you may not know him. Such kind of letters are write a letter to your landlord. You know him, but that person is not at an authority. Are you getting my point? Letter to your neighbor. Again, you may know him or you may not know him, and you may not be friends either, right? And also that person is not at an authority. Again, it becomes a semi-formal one. Now, if I talk about my experiences, when I gave my exam, I was given a question that in a flight you met someone who works in XYZ company and he's a manager in that company. He was using a tab or a device to communicate or to do his office stuff. He used a tab kind of thing. Write a letter to know things about what was that device about, how that device is helping him or him, like such kind of question was there. I became confused that I do not know that person. I've met him once and I cannot say that he is my friend, so it cannot be like a informal one. But it is also not a formal one because I've met him once and he is not at a certain, I am not under his authority. Like he is same like me. He is also working for some company and I am also working for some company. So that is where I got to know that it is a semi-formal one, right? This is how you need to judge that what kind of letter it is. For semi-formal letters, it is like it's very similar to formal ones. Your language should be a bit formal. Like how to start semi-formal letters. Again, start with dear, right? If you know the person, if you know the name of the person, it's well and good if it is mentioned in the question booklet. But if no, give a hypothetical name again. Dear Anjali, right? Or Mr. Sharma, right? If you know that person is a guy, say Dear Amit. Again, write it in this way. It's a bit similar to formal letters again, but I say that use names or Mr. Sharma, right? If you are writing to your landlord, obviously you cannot spell his name, so Mr. Sharma will look more appropriate. And for Anjali and Amit, if that person, that person, like if what I have already told you about the person I met in the airplane, obviously I know his name and I can call by his name, right? Again, in the introduction, in the first paragraph, like state, I am writing this letter for dash dash dash, right? Again, 3 to 4 lines. You must be feeling like it's a semi-formal letter. You need to greet that person or you need to ask about his health. No, we will be talking about his health in the coming letters. If you want, if it is a health concerned letter, then you can ask about his health over here. But in this first paragraph, only talk about the reason why you are writing this letter. so that the person gets to know that the reason behind your writing down to him. Okay, again BP1, leave a line BP1 from the left margin. Again, all these things have to start from the left margin. BP2, closing line, leave a line in between, closing line, closing line. Now for semi-formal ones, your line closing line can be, I'm looking for a response, for I'm looking forward to your response at the earliest, like this. If it is an apology, we'll be talking about these things in the other videos, in the coming videos. Let be sticked to the format only. Like for then comes the closing line, then again for semi-formal ones, right? So for semi-formal ones, I too got confused when I was in my exam, that what to write for semi-formal ones, because obviously you feel like that I write kind regards or best wishes or warm wishes. No, again similarly like formal ones, you need to write yours, Y capital, faithfully. Yours for an semi-formal ones, I should suggest that you should write yours sincerely, because obviously you may or may not know that person, but that person is elder to you, or may it is elder to you, and to show respect you should write yours sincerely. Again your full name, and opposite to that, date, dot, right? This is how you need to write a semi-formal letter. For now comes the third one, informal ones. Informal ones are simple. It's just you are writing to your friend or a person who is a relative, right? It is an informal one. In these kind of letters, dear name, no Mrs. Sharma, right? Dear name. And for these kind of letters, you have to greet that person in the starting. Okay, for greeting, I may tell you, let me check, right? In greeting, we are talking about informal, right? For informal letters, write down, I hope this letter finds you in the best of health, or in the best of spirits, in good health, right? Then full stop. I am writing this letter in context to dash dash dash, whatever the situation has been given to you, right? This is how you write down an informal letter. Greet that person here in the introductory. Again, it has to be for about 3 to 4 lines. Then the follow-up question, cover the follow-up question, leave line, BP1, BP2, leave line in between, start from the margin. Closing line has to be an informal one. I'm seeking your advice. If it is an advice letter, a closing line has to be there. And then in the end for informal ones, you have to write, wait a second, you have to write best wishes, best B capital, wishes W small, best regard, right? Yours lovingly, you can write Y capital, yours lovingly, L small, and with love. Mind, there has to be no commas here, okay? And you do not need to write down the date also. You do not need to write down the date in informal letters. And here in informal letters, just name, like Gunveet, no Kaur, only Gunveet is enough, or you can also give your nickname. All right. I hope I was clear with my handwriting, but I kept on speaking so that you can get an overview. What is the format to write down letters for formal? Formal, you need to be accurate about what the thing you will be telling in this letter, like 3-4 lines, BP1, BP2, left margin, keep on leaving lines in between, closing line, and then yours faithfully, Y capital, again from the left margin, faithfully is a very appropriate word when it comes to formal letters, right? Your full name, in front of yours faithfully, write down the date. I've told you how to write the date, right? For semi-formal ones, again, similarly, 3-4 lines about what is the main reason you are writing this letter, follow-up questions in BP1, BP2, closing line, yours sincerely for semi-formal ones. Your full name again, in front of yours sincerely, write down your full name. Write down the date, right? Put a dot after the date. For informal ones, greet that person first. Do not just jump into telling that why you are writing this letter. Greet him about his health. Wish for him that I hope this letter finds you in good health and great spirits, like this. Then jump on telling him why you are writing this letter. Okay, and then in BP1, BP2, talk about that 3 sub questions that has been asked to you. Closing line again can be an informal one. You can just ask him, if it isn't about the invitation, just invite him. I am waiting for you eagerly, like this. And then yours lovingly, with love, best regards, warm wishes, just like this. Only your name, no Kaur, no Singh, just your nickname or your first name, and then no date is required for informal letters, right? I hope this is clear. Now in our coming videos, we'll be telling you about the letters, how to write them down with the ideas, right? We'll be picking about one question, like if it is an formal invitation one, we'll be picking that letter and we'll be writing down it, and we'll tell you how to score 8 and what words, how to what the format should be like, what words you can use, how you can start the letter, what should be the closing line, and rest of the information I've already given to you, right? So do subscribe to our channel, guys. Keep watching. Bye bye for now.